Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be stranded at sea? Picture this. John, a seasoned sailor, was in the heart of the ocean when an unmerciful storm began to churn the waters around him. His small vessel, once a symbol of freedom and adventure, was now a toy in the tempest's hands, battered by the relentless fury of the elements. With every wave that crashed against its sides, the boat groaned and creaked, a haunting symphony of impending doom. The storm, unyielding and unforgiving, wielded the power of nature like a hammer until it shattered the fragile vessel, leaving John at the mercy of the wild sea. In an instant, the storm had reduced John's world to a few square feet of churning water. Clinging desperately to the remnants of his boat, he fought against the currents, against the elements, against the odds. The sea, once a source of joy, had now become a cruel, chaotic adversary. Every second was a battle, every breath a victory. John was a lone warrior in the vast battlefield of the ocean, his armor a few scraps of debris, his weapon an unwavering will to survive. The storm raged on around him, its wrath echoing in the deafening roar of the waves. As the storm began to recede, John was left in the eerie calm that follows such destruction. The sea, once a tempestuous battlefield, was now a desolate wasteland, stretching as far as the eye could see. The storm had taken everything from him, his boat, his supplies, his sense of direction. Yet, it had left him with something too, a burning determination to survive, to fight against the odds, to prove that he was more than just a helpless castaway in the vast expanse of the ocean. The storm had stripped him of his tools, but not his spirit. In the blink of an eye, John was left stranded in the open sea, his only lifeline a few pieces of debris. The storm may have passed, but John's battle for survival was only just beginning. With his vessel lost to the unforgiving sea, he found himself in a desperate struggle against the elements, clinging to a makeshift raft of debris. The sun blazed overhead, its relentless heat searing his skin and draining his strength. Each passing day brought the pangs of thirst, a burning sensation that gnawed at his throat and sapped his energy. His tongue felt like sandpaper, his lips cracked and parched. A cruel reminder of the water that surrounded him, yet remained undrinkable. Hunger, too, was a constant companion. It gnawed at his stomach, a hollow echo that grew louder with each passing day. He was surrounded by an abundance of life beneath the waves, yet had no means to catch it. The irony was not lost on him. Yet it wasn't just the physical toll that threatened to break him. The isolation, the endless expanse of water stretching out in all directions began to play tricks on his mind. Time became an elusive concept, the days blending into each other in a monotonous haze of heat, hunger and thirst. He dreamed of rescue, of a ship appearing on the horizon. But each time he awoke to the harsh reality of his situation, the dream seemed to drift further away. Despair threatened to engulf him, but he refused to succumb. He remembered his family, their faces etched in his memory, and the thought of them gave him the strength to endure. He was a sailor, a man of the sea, and he would not allow it to claim him without a fight. He harnessed his knowledge, using the stars to navigate, rationing his energy, and doing everything in his power to stay alive. As the days wore on, John's physical strength waned, but his will to survive never faltered. He clung to hope, to the belief that he would see his loved ones again. He was adrift, but not lost, for he carried with him the indomitable spirit of survival. Isolation can play tricks on the mind, and John was no exception. As the days blurred into an endless cycle of hope and despair, the desolation of the open sea began to gnaw at his sanity. Dehydration and starvation took a toll not just on his body, but also on his mind, pushing him to the brink of madness. Hallucinations began to creep in, distorted figments of his imagination that danced at the periphery of his vision. There were times when he saw land, a beautiful, lush island complete with swaying palm trees and a freshwater spring. At other times he saw ships on the horizon, their sails billowing in the wind, coming to rescue him. But each time the visions would dissolve into the harsh reality of the endless, indifferent sea. These illusions, these twisted figments of his imagination, tested John's resolve like nothing else. They whispered sweet promises of rescue and salvation, only to cruelly snatch them away. And yet, with each heart-wrenching disappointment, John found the strength to pick himself up, to continue his fight for survival. He began to talk to the sea, to the sky, to the hallucinations that haunted him. He spoke of his dreams, his fears, his regrets. He spoke of his family, his friends, the life that he yearned to return to. These monologues, these desperate attempts to keep his sanity intact, became his only solace in the crushing loneliness of the open sea. The mind is a powerful thing, capable of conjuring the most vivid of illusions in the face of extreme isolation. And in his darkest hour, John's mind became both his tormentor and his companion. It taunted him with false hope, yet also gave him the will to keep fighting, to keep surviving. Despite the illusions his mind conjured, John held on to the hope of rescue, refusing to give in to despair. Even in the throes of madness, he found the strength to cling to hope, to believe in the possibility of rescue. For it was this hope, this unwavering belief in his survival, that kept him afloat amidst the churning sea of despair. Just when all hope seemed lost, a glimmer of salvation appeared on the horizon. From the vast emptiness of the sea emerged a speck, a ship cutting through the waves like a beacon of hope in a world of despair. Against all odds, John was not alone. His prayers, it seemed, had finally been answered. Summoning the last vestiges of his strength, John waved his makeshift flag of distress. His hoarse cries were swallowed by the roar of the sea, yet he persisted. His life depended on it. Back on the ship, keen eyes scanned the horizon. Suddenly, a shout rang out, piercing the regular hum of the vessel. A crew member had spotted something unusual amidst the wave crests. It was John, a tiny dot in the vast ocean, waving frantically. With the precision of a watchmaker, the ship altered its course, inching closer to the desperate sailor. As the vessel neared, a lifeline was thrown overboard towards John. With shaking hands and a heart pounding with anticipation, he grasped the rope, his lifeline to salvation. Hoisted aboard the ship, John was a sight to behold. His once robust physique was now a skeleton draped in sunburnt skin. His lips, cracked and parched, curved into a weak smile of gratitude. His eyes, though sunken and weary, sparkled with the light of a man given a second chance at life. The crew, a band of hardened seafarers, looked upon John with a mix of awe and respect. He was a living testament to the indomitable human spirit, a man who had danced with death and lived to tell the tale. Exhausted, his body pushed to its absolute limits, John collapsed into the arms of his rescuers. Tears of relief streamed down his weathered cheeks, mingling with the salty sea spray. Exhausted and on the brink of death, John was finally safe. His harrowing ordeal at sea was over. John's story is a testament to the human spirit's resilience. From his harrowing experience, he learned the true meaning of survival, that it's not just about physical strength but mental fortitude. His journey taught him the value of perseverance, to keep pushing forward even when all hope seems lost. And most importantly, he discovered that hope, however faint, can be a powerful beacon in the darkest of times. Despite the odds, John survived. His story serves as a reminder of our innate will to survive, even in the face of insurmountable challenges.